The story of Rise of the Planet of the Apes begins with a scientist named Will, who is deeply concerned about his father, who suffers from Alzheimer's disease. Determined to find a cure, Will works tirelessly in his lab to develop a drug that could treat the disease. After many efforts, he creates a formula that seems promising, but before testing it on humans, he decides to test it on a chimpanzee. The chimpanzee shows a remarkable increase in intelligence after being administered the drug. Will is thrilled by the positive results and believes that the drug can help humans as well. He shares his findings with his senior colleagues, and soon a meeting with the board of members is arranged. During his presentation, everyone is impressed by the drug's potential, and the chimpanzee that was treated with it is shown to demonstrate its advanced intelligence. However, during the presentation, things take a sudden turn. The chimpanzee becomes highly aggressive and attacks one of the workers who tries to restrain it. It causes chaos in the lab, breaking things and creating a disturbance. Unfortunately, the chimpanzee's aggressive behavior leads to it being shot and killed. This incident ends the experiment abruptly, and Will is denied permission to use the drug on humans. Despite the setback, Will believes the drug is still effective and argues with his boss that the chimpanzee's aggressive behavior wasn't due to the drug. However, his boss insists that if there were no problem with the drug, the chimpanzee wouldn't have acted that way. All the chimpanzees treated with the drug are ordered to be put down, but one baby chimpanzee is spared. Will secretly takes the baby chimpanzee home. He names him Caesar and raises him alongside his father, who, after being given the drug, starts showing improvement in his condition. Over time, Caesar grows into an incredibly smart chimpanzee with human-like intelligence, learning to play games and do many human activities. The only thing he can't do is speak like humans. As years go by, Caesar becomes even more intelligent. Meanwhile, Will's father's condition begins to deteriorate again as the effects of the drug wear off. The situation worsens when Will's father, in a confused state, causes an accident while driving a car. A neighbor who has previously hurt Caesar tries to attack Will's father. Caesar, witnessing the incident, becomes furious and attacks the neighbor, even biting off his finger. This leads to a court decision that Caesar can no longer live at home, and he is taken away by animal control to a facility where other chimpanzees are kept. Caesar feels abandoned and unhappy in the facility, where he is also bullied by other chimpanzees. Will is forced to leave Caesar there, even though he knows how much it hurts him. In the meantime, Will continues working on a stronger version of the drug to cure his father's Alzheimer's permanently. With the permission of his boss, he begins testing the new drug on another chimpanzee. During the experiment, however, a mishap occurs when one of the workers, Franklin, accidentally inhales some of the drug's fumes. As time passes, Will visits Caesar at the facility, only to find that the intelligent chimpanzee is locked in a small cage and has been injured. Enraged, Will threatens the staff, warning them not to mistreat Caesar. Despite his efforts, Caesar refuses to leave with Will, having grown increasingly resentful of his captivity and feeling betrayed. Will is left heartbroken, especially after the death of his father, who succumbed to the effects of his illness. Caesar, in the meantime, becomes more cunning and starts gaining control over the other chimpanzees in the facility. He secretly formulates a plan to escape, knowing that his intelligence, combined with the new drug, has made him much smarter than his captors realize. Caesar begins to adapt to his new environment in the facility. He starts observing the behavior of other chimpanzees and realizes that they are not as intelligent as he is. Caesar takes it upon himself to secretly unite the other apes and begins winning their trust. He becomes the alpha among the apes in the facility by using his intelligence and leadership skills. During this time, Caesar also gets access to a window in the facility and witnesses the mistreatment of the apes by the human caretakers. This deepens his resentment towards humans, and he starts to believe that apes deserve more than just confinement. He grows increasingly aware of the injustice faced by his kind. One day, Caesar manages to escape his cage and sneaks into the office of one of the caretakers, breaking into a medicine cabinet. He finds a vial of the advanced version of the drug Will has been working on, which he had seen previously in the laboratory. Caesar, now aware of the drug's power, releases it into the ventilation system of the facility, allowing the other apes to inhale it. The drug has a profound effect on the other apes, rapidly increasing their intelligence to levels similar to Caesar's. With their newfound intelligence, the apes become more organized, and Caesar leads them in planning an escape. They strategically create diversions and overpower the guards. Caesar's intelligence and tactical skills shine as he masterminds their entire escape from the facility. Once free, Caesar leads the apes to Will's home, where he confronts his former owner. While Will is overjoyed to see Caesar, Caesar is conflicted. Despite his love for Will, Caesar now sees himself as more than just a pet or an experiment. He tells Will that apes no longer belong to humans and that they need their own freedom. In a powerful moment, Caesar, for the first time, speaks the word no, signifying that the apes will not return to captivity. Realizing that Caesar now has a mind of his own and must choose his own path, Will reluctantly lets him go, but not without a warning. He tells Caesar that humans will not accept apes taking over, and a war between apes and humans could break out if things escalate. Caesar, now leading a growing group of intelligent apes, heads towards the forest. Along the way, they liberate other captive apes from zoos and laboratories, building an army of powerful and intelligent apes who are united under Caesar's leadership. Meanwhile, Franklin, the lab worker who had accidentally inhaled the new drug, begins to show symptoms of a deadly virus. The virus spreads rapidly, and Franklin unknowingly transmits it to others. This virus is lethal to humans but has no effect on the apes, making them immune. As the virus begins to spread globally, it poses a serious threat to the human race. The authorities become aware of the ape uprising and dispatch a heavily armed police force to capture Caesar and his group. What starts as an attempt to contain the apes turns into a full-scale battle. Caesar and his army confront the humans on the iconic Golden Gate Bridge, a thrilling and action-packed sequence where both sides clash. The apes use their intelligence and physical strength to overpower the human forces, while the humans rely on their advanced weaponry. Despite the fierce battle, Caesar shows a deep sense of morality. He instructs the apes not to kill humans unnecessarily, showing that his goal is not to seek revenge, but to secure freedom for the apes. His leadership, compassion, and intelligence make him an extraordinary figure among the apes, and he is respected and admired by all. As the battle reaches its climax, the apes successfully overpower the human forces and cross the Golden Gate Bridge, entering the forest. The humans, now realizing that the apes are more than just animals, are left shocked by the level of organization and intelligence displayed by Caesar's group. In the final moments of the movie, Caesar and the apes find refuge in the forest, far from human civilization. Caesar looks out at the city from a distance, knowing that the apes are now free but aware that this is only the beginning of a much larger conflict between humans and apes. The final shot shows Caesar standing tall, embracing his role as the leader of the apes, while the world is on the verge of a viral outbreak that could change the course of history. The movie closes with a sense of both victory and uncertainty, leaving viewers eager to see what will happen next as the balance of power between humans and apes begins to shift.